What's up, MourN here, and today we're going to be going over the Night of Ash World Boss event. This event is actually pretty decent, so let's start right away and look over the boss. The first boss is Rainforest Beast, or Venusaur. Its basic attack deals damage equal to 100% to the default enemy. That's the slot 1 enemy, slot 1 hero that you have. Active skill. Deals damage equal to 260% of attack to all enemies with a 20% chance to restore chaos enemies 50 energy. This is kind of cool, and it really entices people to use one faction. And that faction would be chaos because it's forest grass type and it's weak to chaos. At the end of each round, if the Rainforest Beast is debuffed, it gains a 30% weakness for 1 round. Otherwise, it increases self-attack by 40%. This isn't that big a deal because it's not hard to debuff him, and I really suggest using Lee on this boss. It doesn't matter even if you go a 4-1 split. I'll get into the team that I'm going to try later. I've already done 1 attack with my base team. Passive: at the end of each round, increase self-attack by 650% until the end of the battle. This is also not a big deal because I noticed in my first battle, Matthew was not even needed. I didn't get close to dying. Like, this thing was doing like nothing for damage to me. Maybe something was wrong and maybe Matthew is needed, but we're about to find out. My first run at this, I did 9.4 million damage. And my team that I used was my normal team for bosses. It was Genji, Sylvia, Margaret, Lee, and Matthew. Let's go over the rewards and ranking system. All right, so here's how we rank for top 10 so far. I'm number 3, 1 attack. Just look at some of the teams. I'm actually really interested in this composition here by the top players so far because I too will be testing Musashi and Genji today. Though my Musashi is only an A3 as opposed to the A5, but my Genji is A5. Karthus, Melissa, Musashi. Should be interesting. Now let's go on to the rewards. This boss works the same way the tribe boss works. The only difference is it doesn't accumulate rewards in the same manner, whereas tribe, it's total amount of damage you deal over your 2 or 3 attacks if you decide to buy the token. I never buy the token. But this will take your top one, and the rewards are for the first place 300 diamonds. Each bag will contain 4 pieces of class, or you might find 2 more pieces, or it'll contain 4 pieces of the green class and 7 summon stones. For the top 3 players, the rewards are actually really nice in this. That's when it gets a little bit shaky. 4 through 10 is not so great, but it's acceptable. I would have liked to honestly see something more along the lines of the number 3 reward for everybody and make each day the boss a little more difficult to defeat. And if you get to a certain threshold, it increases a little more. Just because I really wanted to see this very free-to-play friendly. And though it is friendly to free-to-play, it's not super. And you'll see why as I go down the rewards. Once you reach 21 to 50, it's 180 gems and 2 summon stones for the day. Then you get the exquisite loot. 2 pieces of class, might find 1 more. This is not very much. It's nice to get the extra resources. It's basically another Netherworld boss, but for the community to participate. But as you see, the rewards get worse and worse. And then once you're out of the top 100, you're getting 1 summon stone. I don't know if you even need to participate to get it at that point. People probably aren't participating because the rewards don't seem community enough. And then as they go up, just like the summon boss, if we go up to the next one, it will increase the rewards, which I assume will probably get to the next level of boss. So like I said before, I did my 1 attack already, and now I'm going to go over the team that I'm going to use for my next attack. I've decided I reset some heroes, and I had enough artifact shards to almost get everybody to a level 10 artifact. I will be using Genji. Genji is my still base because I want to see how it performs. This is my normal setup for Genji. I'll be using my normal Margaret setup, but instead of Matthew, Sylvia, I will be using Karthus, and this is the setup he has now. His gear isn't optimal. I haven't really had a chance to upgrade it. This is the only additional gear I have. Most of us go full on in on that one set of gear for each class. And then Musashi. And I want to test Musashi with the crit damage one and see how his damage stacks up. He's the only one that's not going to be a 10 artifact, but his artifact ability doesn't really matter versus the boss anyway. It's just nice for these additional stats on there. And then I'm going to rotate the ores because I also want to see how they work on different heroes, because I believe that the best ore for bosses is the Endless Seething ore. Bosses have armor, and this mitigates some of that right off the top. And I noticed that I can get my Genji's crit incredibly high after one active. It's like 70-75%. But even if he's critting with the damage, it's not as high as if I just normal attack with the Endless Seething and I get a block break, which you get very often. All right, so let's go into this battle and see how it goes, and then we'll rotate ores. Oh, and one other thing. You can purchase additional challenge attempts. You can do up to 3 of them. You basically know what your team is capable of. This is not a necessity. For the sake of testing, because we have not had a really large amount of time, a lot of ability to test, I'm going to buy all the attempts. I'm probably still going to be in the top 3 no matter how we look at it damage goes, but I want to see what works best, because we were having a discussion on Discord today. Who is better, Margaret or Karthus? All right, keep Lee, drop Sylvia. I'm going to move Margaret to slot 1 because he hits slot 1. And him hitting slot 1 is great because he should proc Margaret's burn more often. And let's see if we survive this. I'm pretty interested. I'm going outside of the aura, and if it doesn't work out so well, well then if someone's weak, like I can always sub Musashi for Adela or Karthus for another light hero. Perfect, debuff right off the bat. And you're gonna see when he attacks. Actually, I think he's faster than all my heroes. And that's something to note in campaign, is he's actually a really fast boss. They're normally not this fast. I'm interested to see how it goes up. He's gonna be debuffed the whole time, so his attack will continually go up. So far, so good. I'm in round 7 already. Musashi's got stack on stack. Yeah, it's going to be really easy for everybody to survive a full 15 rounds without a healer. So at this point, I would say Matthew is not necessary versus this boss. He might be. It looks like Musashi's getting a little low. Right, but we're on round 12. I don't think he's going to kill me. Yeah. At the very least, I get to round 14, and it's not that big a deal. Yeah, this is it. I'm not going to need... Oh, he did kill Musashi the last round. Musashi's gear is actually really, really good. We got a high damage. All right, so I'm going to say that the main difference on this right now between Margaret and Karthus might be gear. So I'm going to take off Margaret's gear, and I'm going to put it on Karthus and just swap their gearing. The only thing Karthus does have the healing ore, which Margaret might need since she's going to get weaker gear and she is notoriously squishy. But Musashi's damage was not that great, and his gear is the same gear that I use on Sylvia. This could be due to him being A3 and not A4 or A5. But I'll try this again and see how it goes. And then probably the last one, just so I can get the aura, I might run Adela and test her. I had high hopes, and she ended up being not very good at all. Where do I go on the ranking now? I'm still number 3. I am still number 3. So, hero. Unequip Margaret. Let's go Karthus, equip Karthus. Give you Margaret's, switch your ores out. Go to Margaret. Make sure I got the right stuff. Good. All right, so we're gonna run that fight back just as it is. Just changing up a couple different things. And then I want to change out the gear, and then I'm gonna switch out Musashi. I think Adela might be a better choice than Musashi, just because the aura might do a little bit more. But as you saw, they survived pretty easily. I'm a little shocked that Musashi didn't survive because he's using the gear that I use on Sylvia and Berea, and they don't really have an issue with survival. He does stack up that damage multiplier really fast. And another thing to note on this is it revolves around Lee a lot. Lee is not guaranteed to put the weakness debuff on the enemy each round or during his basic attack. So that should be something I can consider also, is giving him the purifying ore, because it will. Yeah, Margaret is not having any issue surviving. Now Karthus is. Oh, whoa. Oh my. Okay. Okay. Well, we have our answer to that. A4 Karthus, wearing the same exact gear as my Margaret, did much more damage than my Margaret. If I'm not mistaken, he did it about 1.8 million more. Wow. I'm a little shocked on that. So let's go ahead and reset Musashi and test out Adela in this lineup, because that gives everybody a little more attack, a little more hit points, and we'll see if Adela can close the gap enough to make up for everything. I had a really bad runner, and also keep in mind, she is strong against this particular boss. All right, hero reset. Sorry, Musashi. Heroes. I would like to test Melissa, but I don't have the gearing to do it. Just going to take it up as high as it can go. We get the armor break is nice. It's going to try to give me stuff that's not upgraded. Eternal energy ore. And let's go to Lee and see what he's using. He doesn't even have an ore. Let's give him the title surge, because I maxed my title surge ore today, and he's going to get plus 20% control resistance, and I think that's going to work on his debuff. Wrong place. Why we're going through the battle and we're waiting. Something recently came out on, I think it was Twitter, that they're going to be holding a summon up rate event. Now I don't know what that is and I don't know what that means, but that could, it says that you get to choose your wish list on your heroes and it gets an up rate in the summons. We'll see when that comes around. We need to get more information, but I'm assuming it's going to be like the Tavern and AFK Arena, where you put like 5 heroes in there and there's a higher probability that you get those heroes when you summon if you get a hero from that particular faction. Or they can do like the most recent update to the Tavern, where you choose a hero, it costs a little bit more, but you're guaranteed that hero whenever you get an elite. So far, so good. And you know what? She steals attack, which is great because it'll make him do less damage to everybody else. And even though it's only, I believe, 10% attack, might be 15, since he's ramping to 640% attack each turn, that's actually a pretty significant amount of attack steal. Wow, Karthus really does a lot of damage, but he's about to die. What round are we on? 14. Oh, perfect. So he's going to get another big... Oh, everybody's going to make it to the end. That attack steal really made a difference then. Oh! Karthus with 5.3 million damage. And Adela with... less than half of what Musashi did. Sorry about that. I got a phone call mid recording, and back to what we were talking about. Adela made the team better, but she didn't add any damage. She did make everything hit a little less hard, but she's not really the best choice. And maybe I'll reevaluate her once I get one more copy to A5, but she's probably going to end up more like a support warrior rather than an actual damage dealer. I had a different idea of what she was. So let's see if we can up this damage. I got one more go at this. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to go look, see what hero should we give a shot. You know, what? I'm going to reset Adela, and I'm going to give old Barton a shot. Because why not? What's it going to hurt? Hero. All right, let's get this going real quick, as high as we can get it. He's stuck where he's stuck. It was actually a really good place to get stuck. Quick equip. Yeah, we'll keep him with the Eternal Energy. I am so far liking where we are. This is actually a really nice event because you get to test how they interact within the faction. And that's super awesome because it's difficult to risk testing on some things. Like I can test on the boss now, and I'm going to start doing that, but you really need like equal A5s. The answer between who's better at boss damage, Margaret or Karthus, that's answered. Karthus is only A4, she's A5, and with the same gear, he did a lot more damage. I'm sorry, this is going to be a long video, and I apologize. Apologize even more that you're seeing the top of my head more than my face. The damage Karthus has really ramps up. It's quite impressive, actually. I may try him on the Netherworld boss tomorrow to see if I can actually find that optimal team to reach that 3+ million mark on that boss, because that boss is just an annoyance with all the reflect damage. Oh, that was a hard hit. Oh, he made it through to the end. And there you have it. Interesting. Karthus did way less damage this time. I'm not really sure why. I'm going to check Adela's skills here in a moment. But Barton did way more damage than Adela. Like 3 times the amount. Yeah, Adela might not be very good. All right, let's check Adela's skills real quick. Maybe she's given the team attack. Maybe skills. Okay, so hold on 1 second. All right, so there's literally nothing that should have made her buff. It was just an RNG thing that Karthus did less damage, but nonetheless, it was pretty impressive. 5.8 million from Karthus, and consistently better than Margaret versus bosses. Well, that concludes the first video. I'm going to try to do one for each boss. Maybe not as long as this one. It's a little long, just so you can see how I'm interacting with the bosses and what I'm doing. And right now, as you can see, I'm number 1 on server 1, but that could change. I mean, the players behind me are not that far. I really wanted to test Melissa. I think she could really put some damage out. That concludes this video. Thanks for watching. If you like, subscribe, share, anything you can do to help my channel grow. If you're not a fan of my content, go over to Bearded Energy Gaming or JimmyBeh and check those guys out. They do great work. Oh, and the last thing, don't forget, save your summons. They have something coming up for summon event, and that's really important. That could help a lot of people progress, because a lot of people are unhappy with the rates of summons. Have a good one.